What's up, people of the internet? My name is Dabacab, and today we're going to go over the most broken card combos in Artifact. So the good news is I have finally moved into my new home, my new house. I'm set up mostly in the basement, but I'm still unpacking equipment, so there's a possibility there might be a couple of glitches with this video, so please, keep that in mind moving forward if the quality is kind of wonky here or there, but I think I got everything set up. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about the most broken or simply very powerful card combos in Artifact. And when I say card combos, I'm specifically referring to 2 card combos. So there may also be crazy wombo combos that include 5 or 6 cards working together, but this video is not going to be about that. This video is specifically about 2 cards that work very, very well together. All right, so the first combo is Ravenous Mass plus Cheating Death. Basically, Ravenous Mass has a little clicky where when you click that ability, Ravenous Mass condemns the units to its left and to its right, and then absorbs those units' power, basically their attack and their health, to become stronger. It adds those values to its own. But with Cheating Death active, with Cheating Death on the same lane, when you click that ability, there's a 50% chance that even though you still get all of the bonuses from both of the units next to them, there's a 50% chance that they won't die. So let's suppose you have 2 melee creeps on either side of the Ravenous Mass. Since it's 50-50, we'll say the one on the left dies off the bat, so it's just gone. The Ravenous Mass gains 2 attack and 4 health. Then the one to the right of the Ravenous Mass does not die because of Cheating Death. It goes down to 1 health, but still, nonetheless, the Ravenous Mass still gets that creeps plus 2 attack and plus 4 health, meaning next turn when Ravenous Mass clicks that ability again, he will still get that same melee creeps attack and health, and there's another chance that 50% could trigger and he could still not die. So putting this next to heroes with Cheating Death active, if you high roll, you can get a massive Ravenous Mass that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and just won't go down. So insane potential there. I don't know if that makes Ravenous Mass worth playing because it's not a very good card to begin with, but that combo, ooh, you can pull off some crazy wombos with those 2 cards for sure. Also worth mentioning that this works with Lich's active ability. So if you use Lich's active ability and then destroy another unit, you get those card draws, but you also still get a 50% chance of that unit not dying at all. So it'd basically be a free card draw. The next crazy combo, this one's a bit more well known, but I've got to mention it because it's so strong anyways, is Luna plus Luna in draft, or essentially in any game mode that allows you to run multiple heroes of the same type. Basically, the way that Luna's passive works is that when it comes to Luna's lane, she does 1 piercing damage to an enemy unit at random, and she adds 1 charge to all eclipses in the deck. All eclipses in the deck, which means every Luna you add to the deck adds 3 eclipses. So if you have 2 Lunas on the board, that's 2 eclipse charges getting added to all eclipses in the deck. So it's so much value because you get double your eclipse charges and you get double the number of cards that are benefiting from the bonus. And if you get triple Lunas, that's 3 charges per turn and 9 eclipses. So it just gets crazily powerful. You just wipe the board every single turn. Eclipse, 12 eclipse beams come down and wipe the board. Eclipse, 15 eclipse beams come down, and just obviously 5 Lunas would be absolutely insanely broken. So if you are ever in draft and you get the opportunity to play with 2 or more Lunas in your deck, you should absolutely take it because it is broken, it's fun, and it's ridiculous. I'm almost wondering if they're going to nerf Luna in some way or another, either by increasing her rarity to make her just harder to get in draft, or by, this is probably not quite as likely, but by changing the way her card works so that when you add multiple Lunas in the same deck, it'll be like Luna Alpha and then Eclipse Alpha, Eclipse Alpha, Eclipse Alpha, and then Luna Beta, Eclipse Beta, Eclipse Beta, Eclipse Beta, and Luna Alpha's beams won't give charges to Luna Beta's beams, but that seems kind of unlikely because it's kind of complicated. But they could go that route as a actually logical fix. It's just because it's logical doesn't mean it's good for the game because it's kind of complicated. But still, it's such a cool combo, and I really hope I get to play with it in draft. Next up, this combo is not quite as strong as the double Luna combo, but it does have some really great synergy. That is the Conflagration Hourglass plus Howling Mind. The Howling Mind improvement makes it so that both you and your opponent draw a card. So obviously it benefits you, but it benefits your opponent as well, which sucks for you. But if you have Conflagration Hourglass on the field, then it locks up that drawn card for your opponent for 1 turn. So basically the way it works is your opponent is always 1 turn behind you in this extra card draw. So you get a card draw and they get 1, but they can't use it. And the next turn you get your second card draw and they can only start using their first card draw. So they're always a little bit behind. So, you know, not insanely broken. You're not going to be winning, you know, $1 million tournaments with this combo probably, but it is a really great synergy between 2 interesting cards. So I'm interested to see how it plays out once the game goes live. Next up is Mana Drain plus Crystal Maiden. So the way that Mana Drain works is basically you take 2 mana from the enemy tower and add it to your tower. Important to note that this increases the maximum mana in your tower. So let's suppose you start the lane with 4 out of 4 mana and you play Mana Drain on the enemy tower. They're going to go from 4 out of 4 mana to 2 out of 4 mana. You're going to go from 4 out of 4 mana to 4 out of 6 mana because, you know, you're going to lose a 2, but you're going to gain a 2, but you still have to pay for the cost of the spell. So basically just the cap raises, but your mana stays the same. But if you've got Crystal Maiden refunds 2 mana. So that means when you, even though you started the turn at 4 out of 4 mana, if you have Crystal Maiden on the board and you play Mana Drain, you will go to 6 out of 6 mana. So it's basically Selamene's Favor for 0 mana, and it also subtracts 2 mana from the enemy tower. I guess the better comparison would be Stars Align, right? Stars Align is a 1 mana spell that gives you 3 mana, so a total net of 2. So it's basically that, except it has the added benefit of subtracting 2 mana from the enemy tower. So imagine if Stars Align was gain 3 mana and remove 2 mana from the enemy. So a bit more flexible, a bit more powerful than Stars Align, but getting the combo off might be a little bit too much of an investment because Lion and Crystal Maiden are some weak heroes in terms of their body. They just don't really pack a punch. Crystal Maiden's the weakest hero in the game, and Lion is, I think, probably one of the weakest black heroes in the game. He might actually be the weakest black hero in terms of body in the game. So pretty heavy investment to pull off that combo, but it's got potential for sure. Next up is Conflagration plus Curse Satyr. Now the way Curse Satyr works is after the combat phase, she adds a 2/2 zombie to the enemy field. But if you have a Conflagration in the same lane, then once the camera goes back over into that lane, as soon as it gets into that lane, the Conflag will trigger, deal 2 damage to everything, which is just enough to kill the zombie. The zombie will die, giving you 1 gold. And the zombie doesn't get to do anything. It doesn't get to attack, it doesn't get to defend, because it never actually gets to a combat phase. So this is a cool combo, because first of all, you get the Curse Satyr with no drawback. It's basically just a 6/6. Second, it turns the drawback, which is the zombie, into a benefit because you're also getting 1 free gold automatically every single turn that the opponent can't do anything to stop. So once again, like, it's not the most broken, insane combo in the world, but it's cool and it's powerful and it can help you win games if you get both of these cards off in the same lane, because it's just a gold generating engine. And a 6/6 for 5 mana isn't too shabby. Next up is Ursa plus Retaliate. Now, the way Retaliate works is that it's considered a separate source of damage from the attack. So if you can give Ursa any sort of Retaliate, such as through the armor, then when Ursa attacks an enemy unit, the basic attack, just from him attacking the opponent, will shred the armor, and then also the Retaliate will shred armor again. So that's 2 shreds for the price of 1. So it's a really fun combo, especially to use on enemy heroes, because -2 armor every single combat, that will quickly add up and take down even the tankiest of heroes. Axe does not stand a chance against this combo. Sure, since Axe is so strong, he's going to kill the Ursa pretty quickly, but across two combat phases, which is how long it's going to take an Axe to kill an Ursa, that's -4 armor that Ursa is going to inflict on that Axe, which is honestly pretty nasty. Next up is Rend Armor plus Double Edge. I talked about this combo in another video, but it's so cool I had to include it in this video as well. Basically, the way Double Edge works is that it takes your base armor, subtracts 8 from it, and then at the end of the turn, it snaps it back up to that value. The way Rend armor works is that it sets your armor at 0. So you play double edge to bring your armor down to 8. Then normally your armor would be at -8, and this would be 0. But when you Rend armor, it sets the -8 armor up to 0 armor, and then at the end of the turn, it resets +8 to give you +8 total armor. These two cards together is basically modify a unit with +8 armor, which is an absolutely insane amount of armor. It's super cool, kind of fun to play, but I'm going to be honest, 8 armor is incredibly excessive. Armor is probably one of the least valuable stats. It'd be way better if it was +8 attack. It'd be way better if it's +8 health. +8 armor, it's a bit overkill, you know, just so few things deal that much armor, and even then you're usually better off with health because there's things like Pierce which can circumvent it. But it's so fun. Like, getting a red hero with +8 armor is real nutty. Can you imagine like a Tide Hunter with 8 armor? It would be insanely unnecessarily invincible. He would just be the meatiest meat shield who ever existed. So those are the craziest combos in Artifact. If you know of any other crazy 2-card wombo combos, let me know down in the comments, and if I get enough, I might make another video. So thank you so much for watching. Dabacab out.